Once, in a grand kingdom, there lived a wise and trusted minister who was renowned for solving the toughest problems and giving sound advice to the king. However, not everyone in the court admired him. Many were jealous of his influence and loyalty to the king. One morning, during the royal court meeting, the king spoke with a curious smile. "Minister, I must say, you are a very wise man, but your daughter? She's not as smart as you." The court erupted in murmurs. The minister was taken aback and replied, "Your Majesty, my daughter is a bright young woman. May I ask why you think she lacks intelligence?" The king leaned back in his throne and said, "Every morning in the market, I test her. I place a diamond and a ruby before her and ask which is more valuable. Every single time, she chooses the ruby. Surely a wise person would know the diamond is worth far more than a ruby." The court laughed heartily, and the minister, though embarrassed, kept his composure. Bowing respectfully, he said, "Your Majesty, I will look into this matter." That evening, the minister returned home and called for his daughter. She greeted him warmly, but he was serious. "My child," he began, "do you know which is more valuable, a diamond or a ruby?" She looked puzzled by the question, but answered confidently, "Of course, Father, a diamond is more valuable." The minister frowned. "Then why do you always choose the ruby when the king tests you?" "Because of this, people think you are foolish, and today, the entire court mocked me." His daughter smiled calmly and said, "Father, please come with me." She led him to her room and opened a wooden chest. To the minister's astonishment, the chest was filled with gleaming rubies. He stared at her in disbelief. "Where did you get all these?" he exclaimed. She laughed gently and explained, "Father, every day, when the king places a diamond and a ruby in front of me, I deliberately choose the ruby. The king finds it amusing and gives it to me. If I ever choose the diamond, he will stop his game, and I will no longer receive a ruby each day." The minister stood silently, absorbing her cleverness. She continued, "Father, people may call me foolish, but by playing along with the king's game, I have collected more rubies than anyone in the kingdom. Sometimes, it is better to let others think what they want if it benefits you in the long run." The minister's lips curled into a proud smile. "You have taught me a great lesson today, my child. True wisdom lies not in proving others wrong, but in knowing what is truly important." The next morning, when the king and the court mocked his daughter again, the minister sat back, smiling quietly. The king noticed and asked, "Why do you seem so content today, minister? Does your daughter's foolishness no longer bother you?" The minister bowed slightly and said, "Your Majesty, my daughter may appear foolish to the world, but she is far wiser than many of us here. Wisdom is not always about proving intelligence, it's about making choices that truly matter." The king was intrigued by his response and later learned the truth about the rubies. Instead of being angry, he laughed heartily and praised the minister's daughter for her cleverness. "Friends," the king declared to the court, "true wisdom often hides in simplicity. Sometimes, those we underestimate turn out to be the most brilliant among us."